Good morning, everybody, and once again, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to learn how you can use Debezium, Kafka, schema registry, DeltaStreamer to ingest data from MySQL database into your universal data lakehouse, where you can interoperate as Hoodie, Delta, Iceberg. We'll also show you how to query this data real time by Trino. The latency or the data freshness is less than 5 minutes. So without wasting any further time, let's rock and roll, guys. All right. So I'm on my project window. Hopefully you will clone this project repository, and inside the project repository, you will have a Docker compose file. Now this Docker compose file has several containers. The first container that we have is MySQL container. We have a Kafka schema registry Debezium container over here. We have a Trino coordinator. We have a HiveMetastore, which is gonna be Postgres over here. And we have a Minio, which is used as an object store. Okay, so hopefully that's clear. So the most easy way to get started would be saying docker compose up --build -d, and this will start all the containers running in the background. Give it about a minute or so. Once all the containers are on the running state, let's proceed to the next step. So once the containers are started, you can go to Chrome and head over to localhost 3040, then head over to localhost 9000, where you will see the Minio console. The username password is going to be admin, and the password is going to be password. So there you can see we have a warehouse bucket over here, we have our Minio, and then you can head over to localhost 8080, which is where you would see your Trino coordinator, and put the username as admin. So now that you have your stack up and running and you have all the containers running, now what we can do is this again has a MySQL database, and you should see a database called inventory, and there will be some bunch of tables with some sample data to play with. So let's learn how to bring this data into a real-time fashion into our universal data lake. Okay, so now I'll go to this node Spark submit. Okay, and then I'll start explaining over here. This is what I need to explain, and then we'll see things in action. Okay. Before that, let me actually open my terminal as well, because I have to run this command as well. So I'm just gonna open my terminal, go, cd into the directory, and I'll zoom in. Don't worry, I'll make sure that you're able to see the font size clearly on the video. Okay, so export. Let me export my Java home. Okay. Yeah, I think we are ready now. I can explain you. Okay. Spark submit job, right? We are using the Hoodie streamer class. We are using two packages, the Spark 3.4 bundle package and AWS Hadoop package over here. Okay, and also let me shrink my video and put it up so you can see much more clear. Okay, all right. Then jar files, we provide the Hoodie extension snapshot jar. This allows DeltaStreamer to build the metadata for Hoodie and Iceberg after every single commit. The next jar we have is a Hoodie Java client jar, and then here we provide the Hoodie Slim utility bundle jar, which allows DeltaStreamer to function, right? Hopefully made sense. Table type copy on write. This is the warehouse path. This is where I want to build my transactional data lake. Universal transactional data lake. I think I need to start saying universal transactional data lake. Operation as upsert, enable Hive sync, right? And then the sync tool class, we are using io.onetable.hoodie.sync.onetable sync tool. Here you will see the source class is set to or.apache.hoodie.utilities.sources.debezium MySQL Debezium source. In the previous one we did for the Postgres, so here we're doing for MySQL. This is the bootstrap URL for the Kafka 7092. Okay, this is the URL for the schema registry. Okay. This is the endpoint where the DeltaStreamer can fetch the schema for the data. And again, pretty same standard thing. We define the record key. I did not partition my data lake here, right? And I'm telling my DeltaStreamer to build the metadata for Iceberg and Delta after every single commit. And then I have my Hive sync settings. So here I'm providing my HiveMetastore URI, right? If you're using AWS Glue, you don't need to provide that. But again, if you're using external HiveMetastore, you can provide the URL over here. Now that we have the stack running, we need to basically create the Debezium connector, right? So let's see that, and then I'll run this Spark submit job. In this project repository, you will see a folder called Debezium, and you will see MySQL. Okay, so we're gonna copy this, and we come here. Okay, let me actually expand this so you guys can see this. Gonna go to connector, click on new, and then search for MySQL connector, paste this one here. Again, pretty standard, right? I define my username, I define my password, I define my host, I define the table that I'm interested in, which is inventory.customers, right? That's about it. And then I click on create. My connector is now created. So once the connector is created, you can again go to localhost 3040. You can go to topics and you can basically search for customers. And here you can see, we see a topic called inventory.inventory.customers. And here you should see your Avro messages. Here you can see, I can click on table and I see my Avro messages over here. Great. So we have data flowing into Kafka real time. Now let's ingest this data, all right? So now going to the Spark submit, I'll copy this Spark submit. I open up my terminal. Again, I explained you the command, right? So I'm not doing anything crazy. It's just, I'm simply pasting this. That's all I'm doing now, okay? So here, let's run this guy. One important thing that I wanted to say while this is running, where is that setting here? Minimum sync interval. This basically means after how many seconds the streamer should sync data from Kafka. I set that to 10, okay? So as you can see now, it's real time reading the data. What I want to do, guys, meanwhile, is I also want to show you the data query through Trino real time. So let me open up a new terminal over here, cd into that, and then say Jupyter Notebook, so I can show you the query on the Trino part. So as again, the DeltaStreamer is ingesting data real time. If you go to localhost 9000 Minio, you refresh here, you should see default customer. I see the iceberg metadata, hoodie metadata, and the delta log metadata. All right, so I have that. Now I'll show the Trino part. I'll query this real time. So let me go to Jupyter Notebook. And here you can see I'm able to query this data, right? This is the data coming from MySQL. All right, great, Saumil. This is fantastic. All right, you can see 4 records. Let's add Edward. Let's change Edward. I'm gonna add a hash symbol over here, and then I'm gonna click on save. The moment you click on save, the Debezium will identify that, post it into Kafka. The hoodie streamer will real-time ingest it. So I have saved the data into the customer table. As you can see, my streamer should ingest this now real-time. Now, if I come to my Trino and if I simply run select query, here you can see that change has been flown real-time. So that's about it. It's literally that easy. It's not that difficult. I'll leave all the exercise and resources in the GitHub section, so make sure to check that out. If you have any further questions, please list your question in the comment window and I'll be more than happy to answer them as and when I get time. That being said, keep smiling, keep programming, and I'll see you next time.